Hi, I'm Danny Capaccio.
And I'm Alyse Capaccio, and we design games. These are some of the games that we've worked on. They're in different stages of our process. This is #me. This is a finished, published game. And then over there, Danny has Tornado Tag, which is a game about pro wrestling, and it's more in the beginning stages.
We hear that you're designing games, which is great because games are awesome. Games have been around since the beginning of human culture. With bones, they would just cut them and etch into them and throw them like dice. It's where we get dice. So the journey is, we make a game that we like to play, and then we try to sell it to other people. We typically tend to start with an idea or a problem, something that maybe is a model of reality, so something that we all do every day, like the pizza shop, for example.
When you're designing a game, you need three main things. Really you need two, and then there's a third optional one. First of all, you need a goal, which is how you win. So for example, in Monopoly, you win by getting the most money. In Go Fish, you win by getting the most sets of cards. In Uno, you win by getting rid of all of your cards first. So you need some kind of goal that is how you win the game. In addition to that, you need a mechanic. A mechanic is the rules of how you can get to your goal.
Right, exactly. Like in Candyland, you flip a card up and you move to that next color. In a game like Scrabble, you make a word out of the 7 letters that are in front of you onto a board.
The third optional thing that you could have in your game is a theme. A theme is something like you're working in a pizza shop, or Pokemon. The theme is
you're in a fantasy world with fancy creatures called Pokemon.
For Battleship, the theme is battleships.
Yes, but some games don't have themes, like Checkers, which is just abstract color discs on an abstract colored board.
So you can have a theme if you want to, or you can keep it abstract, like Checkers, or like Uno, or like this game with blocks that we designed.
So one of the things that we do every time that we make a game is we start out with that idea, that core concept. You take that idea and then you want to start making it into a game. So what you need to do is you need to create a playable prototype, something that you can start with and actually play the game.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be something you can make fast, because probably you're going to change a lot of things about your game. When you start to make a prototype, you want to think about what different components or pieces that you would need.
You can start with different components that you can find around your house in other games, or just things like Legos, for example.
Polymer clay, you can bake it in the oven, and it makes like a really real looking piece.
Take pieces of paper, you can draw on them, and you can rip them up into cards. Like this is a prototype, an early prototype for this GameCube, which then turned into something more like this.
Just work with whatever you have. You don't need any fancy equipment to make a game.
So once you have your game prototype, then you want to play test it with people.
Playtesting a game is just playing it with people to see what works, what doesn't work.
After you're done playing, ask people their opinions. Ask your friends, did you have fun? Did you enjoy this game? Was it too long? Was it too short?
Was it too complicated?
Would you play it again? Yeah, would you play it again? Because that's really the point here. If you don't want to play that game again, maybe you need to change it.
Sometimes when you're asking people for their opinion on your game, maybe they don't like it. That's okay. Maybe you need to change something. Just try to listen, don't argue with them. Just know that they're trying to help you make a better game. So after you make your prototype and then you've play tested with people, take some time to think about their feedback and then make changes to your prototype.
And this is why it's really important that you didn't do too much of a polished prototype.
So you'll want to revise your prototype to make it more fun, to fix any problems that came up in playtesting. And then once you've revised your prototype, go ahead and play test it again, and then revise again, and then just keep doing that cycle until you're happy with your game.
So at some point, these prototypes start to feel more like real games. The more time you spend and more professional design that you get done on them. The ultimate point of a game, as we've talked about, is to be fun. And it doesn't matter how polished a game looks. If it's fun to play, people will play your game. After you have your game and you've revised it and you've played it and you've revised it and you've played it and you have a game that you're ready to go, then you're done. I mean, that's your game. You don't need to do anything else. But let's say I would like to sell it maybe, or at least be able to share my fun with other people. So something that I need to do then is publish it.
There's two ways you can get your game out in the world. One of them is self-publishing, where you do all the work yourself. And the second one is publishing with a game publisher.
They have people that you can mail your prototype to, pitch it to a publisher, and then maybe they'll buy it from you and they'll give you part of the royalties for when they sell it. But you don't have to do any of that. We've done that once, but we still have prototypes that have not been published yet.
So good job making games.
Yes.
Have fun and make fun games.
Yes, go into the world and make fun games. Yeah, I'm a ninja.